My name is Wilfredo Melendez. Right now I'm filling in for the position as director, interim director, but my normal job is National Service Officer. And that means that I help veterans get their compensation claims from the Veterans Benefit Affairs, which is the federal portion of the veterans benefits. Here we are able to provide federal benefits with me, state benefits with the investigators and their position and their benefit that they have. So we have a program called Chapter 115, which is administered by the city, which is municipal, but sponsored by the state. So we have a combination of state and city federal benefits. And the Chapter 115 is like transitional assistance. It's like welfare for the veterans. Massachusetts, not all the states don't have this program. And what Massachusetts doesn't want is to see veterans below the poverty level. We have this program that we can help them get back up to that level or higher, and then do advocacy so that they can eventually bounce on their feet and move forward. Veterans get a lot of benefits, a lot of, more than the regular average citizen. But at the same time, it's almost like a maze, and everybody has their own experiences. And that's where we come in particular my position. I'm a National Service Officer, and my job is to help them work through the maze of getting compensation claims from the VBA, Veterans Benefit Affairs. There's the VHA, Veterans Health Administration, which is the hospital. And again, that's a benefit that the veterans have. But not all veterans are eligible for it, because it depends on their time, it depends in the service, it depends on when they get out. And so it's really quite detailed individually. So you're in the service and you're in the group and everything is, you're part of a unit. You come out and now you're one. So that in itself becomes another adjustment. And then you get into dealing with your benefits depending on your age, where you're at. As you get older, it changes where you're at, what you want. Because when you're younger and you come out of the service, quite often you don't get involved with any of the benefits right away because you're young and you can take care of yourself. A lot of this stuff, every veteran is able to have access to it. But as you get older, then you have different needs, and then you reach out. So it's interesting how that works. It's really, the dynamics is incredible. And the only reason I know about it is because I work here for 14 years and I've seen all different aspects of veterans. I've seen World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, Vietnam, which I am myself, and then Persian Gulf War veterans, Iraqi freedom veterans, Afghanistan veterans. So the bottom line is that these individuals are in the military structure, and the military structure changes quite often every 5-10 years. So not everybody, you can't say one veteran has the same experience as the other. Now, those that go out to war, that are deployed, their experiences are basically, you would say, the same, horrific. You go out to war and it's raw. Life becomes quite different as far as what it means to be living as an individual when you get involved with the atrocities of war. But, so that part doesn't quite change. What changes is how, when an individual comes out from that experience, how they're identified. What is their title? What is their disability? I can go on and go on because I'll tell you quite forward. During World War II, when the individual, have you heard of PTSD? Post-traumatic stress disorder? They didn't know what, that word wasn't known back in the Korean War or World War II. But they had a name, but it was different. During the World War II, Korean War, Vietnam, actually World War II, Korean War, they would call it the 1,000-mile stare. So instead of post-traumatic stress disorder, it was a 1,000-mile stare. So they would just stand there and look away. And now we're becoming more, sensitive, more aware, more technology, more information, and we're realizing that this is what's going on organically, and this is what's going on spiritually. because of the traumas that they experienced. Well, enough of that. Now I want to show you the rest of the building. This is the War Memorial building. It was built during World War II because of the Great War and the greatest generation, World War II veterans. They were respected for what they did. And then when they came back, they were honored. And a lot of these buildings, you'll see them throughout the United States, the War Memorial buildings. A lot of money was being given out. The country was basically all warriors, World War II, when they came back. Quite interesting, I want to say that during that time, the women were running America when their husbands men were out in the war because not many women were fighting. There had some, but not many women. And they had some that joined for different reasons. So when they came back, the women had this experience. Hey, we could run the country. We can do what men do. So that's what started a lot of the women's wanting their rights because they opened up, they saw their capability. So women's rights, the battle for their rights came from after the war. So it's interesting how war has its own, how everything works, it has its own, effects and on every little individual. This building is considered, a museum as well as benefits. This is items that we picked up that came through the years. This section here, we have the 50s, which is Korean. Every city has a veteran service department. Springfield has one, Chicopee has one, Northampton has one. Okay. Because it's a state mandated requirement that the city has to provide this department in their city government. Oh, okay. Yeah. And Massachusetts is one of the only states that does that. We are known throughout the United States as veteran friendly. And now something very interesting I want to show you too. And we get these from donations, people have them. This is World War II item here, World War II that's come in. I want you to look at this particular hat. Now be careful, this is very sensitive. Real close. Wow. You see what that is there? Yeah. This is somebody on the other side wore this hat. The name is right here. Wow. So, yeah, of course, we won this battle. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the souvenirs, and I guess they wanted to give it to us so we can. Very sensitive, but we have it. And then other artillery used during the particular time. We can continue moving, and this is the picture of an individual, a Navy guy. And then here we have this individual. This individual, oddly enough, he didn't live long on this planet, but for the short time that he did, he was distinguished in his actions, and particularly in the military. He's got these medals represent a lot of the actions, a lot of the sacrifices that he did, and he did very well. Master Sergeant Richard P. Bolerian. We have to say the names because, we bring them back. This happens to be the shovel that was used for groundbreaking for the new veterans home, which was the old soldiers home, because they basically started a new wing because of the situation that was going on with the veterans home. I don't know if you're familiar with what happened during COVID. A lot of the patients passed over while they were in there, and so there was a big to-do. And then eventually they started building a new wing, a new services. And this is one of the shovels that was used to help break ground. So the prior administration that was here, Jesus Pareda, he was part of that action that that needed to be done. And then we have more items here. Korean War, World War II, a mixture. Look at these pictures back in the day. This is how, you know, the battalion. This is the Spanish-American War at the 34th Annual Convention, June 27th, 1941, Holyoke, Massachusetts, the Spanish War. We have information about that. Some pictures here. This is some recognitions of the Veterans Day, people who we honor as Veteran of the Year, dating back to 1995. So this year, 2020, I was honored by my director to be Veteran of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And it just so happens, he's right next to me. Isn't that
Wow. Yeah.
2015. Isn't that something? What a life is so great. Over here is very interesting. We have models that we have a volunteer, Neil Sullivan. He's basically a Korean War veteran, and these models came in boxes. One of the prior commissioners went into a home that the individual was passing away, and he was basically disabled, and all he did was spend his years doing models. And then when he passed away, the parents were getting rid of some of the stuff, and the individual, Chris Sims, picked up the boxes and brought them in here. They were all scattered, they were all over the place, but they were very precious. So back in the day, people would do models. I mean, that's one of the hobbies that a lot of the kids growing up would do, was models. And this individual, that's all he did. And so Neil Sullivan took the opportunity to, you know, he's a volunteer, he saw that, and he took the opportunity to put them back together again, and here they all are, right here. And there's nothing like this, I don't think, anywhere that I can think of. I can't imagine what it is. Now, very importantly, these are we're recognizing hometown heroes. We had these banners placed on the streets, in particular, on the posts. I don't know if you've ever seen something like that in some cities yet. And these are the individuals that were basically sponsored by their families or friends, and they were the hometown heroes. And these over here were from the soldiers' home, the old soldiers' home. Now it's the veterans' home. And basically we have them because we started collecting them, and we just got them there so that the families can recognize them. This is an interesting room right here. This is the Medal of Honor room. So the Medal of Honor room is the highest medal the Medal of Honor is the highest medal, given by any branch of service to individuals. It just so happens that these three individuals all live in Holyoke. Different times, times of different wars, different conflicts, but they all live in Holyoke. To have our population now is like 40,000. I think we had a little bit more before, but to have three individuals to receive the Medal of Honor in a location that there's a certain population of people is unheard of. And so that's why this room was dedicated to them, and we got grants, and it was basically approved to have this room. This rug, there's only 2 rugs like this in the whole United States. And you can see here, the other one is in a ship that's used, I forgot where it is, but it's in a ship that they're basically commissioned, meaning they brought the ship in and they use it as a museum. But there's only 2 rugs in the whole United States that basically were permitted to have. Yeah. There's only 2. Wow. And it's Medal of Honor, Congressional Medal of Honor Society, United States of America. Valor, yeah. We have some streets and some parks named after these individuals. So we have another room over there, which is really just an office and is not being used for much. We have the mannequins. We have the dress uniform, the Marine Corps, right here. And I'm real proud of that. I'm a Marine. Vietnam, talking to Vietnam. All of this has been donated to us because people have them and they want to know what to do with them. And fortunately, we have the space for it. These are free. Let me see one of them for you right here. You can have something there. Let me see another one that I think would be real nice for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, these are
Yeah. Okay, here is the Navy, and then this is, this is for bonds. This is the missing man table. You must have seen this before. Basically, when we have missing in action, MII, so a lot of soldiers and individuals go out in the war and they never come back, and sometimes we are never able to find them. And so we have this table set up in honor and remembrance of them. And it tells you, if you could take a close up here, you can actually go through what it means, each one. This is one of my favorite rooms. This is the flag room. What's interesting about this is that it has like a chronological history of the flags in America. So it starts here, right here. And this is the Viking waving flag. In America between 800 to 1000 AD. And this is the development, the growth of America. It starts with that particular flag there, the Viking waving flag, and then it gets into, and it goes on. We have it chronologically ordered. So everything is in chronological order. Of course, the British, they were, this is how everything got started, and then it goes on, it continues on. This is when they started to, the colonists started to say, hey, British, you're taxing me and no representation. I'm sure you heard that story, maybe, yeah? So the colonists in America, they said, you're British, so you guys are taking all our money and you're not giving us any love. And so they started coming out with flags to represent their feelings. And then over here, we still have a little bit of British influence. We have in honor of the city of Holyoke who gave their lives in the Vietnam War. And then we go on with the flags. It's just a growth. This is a famous flag here it should be 13 colonies. You want to count them? So and then it goes on, and then we see the states being developed. The flags, every star represents the states, and it starts growing and growing and growing. Here we are right now here. So, yeah, I love this room. I love flags for some reason. It's like, I can tell you personally that every star, and during the war, a lot of times the flag is, the flag leads the soldiers into combat. And a lot of times, sometimes when there's tragedy and they get hurt, one of the last things they see is the flag. And I believe a lot of times that their soul and their spirit, goes into these stars here. Their blood and their soul goes on, and their spirits are here. These are states, by the way, but this is how I interpret it. So that's why, for some reason, flags really mean a lot to me. And then this is for every star represents the state. And so every state has a neighborhood. Every neighborhood has a house, and there you have the individual. And so that's why I look at these stars so profoundly. To me, it's profound. Is this profound? Is that the right word? It's very deep. I don't know why I noticed that, but I do. Yeah, you see, World War II, World War I as well. But these are all Holyoke individuals.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know which is more. These are books, original manuals that we hardly ever touch. Look how big this one is. The Stars and Stripes. That's still going on. There is publication in magazines that represent this, one of the original that we have currently.
Wow.
Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes are really good reporters of a lot of military events. Matter of fact, many times when I'm doing a claim, I sometimes go to the Stars and Stripes to see a particular date and time that something happened that a veteran's saying it happened, but it wasn't recorded by him. And we use information to help get facts and documentation of evidence. And this is more books, Civil War information. So when I retire, I'm going to do a lot of reading. So, catch up.
Yeah. Oh, this is a beautiful room.
I love it.
Very informational.
Yeah, and the individual who actually put the flags the way they are now was Jesus Pereira.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Pereira. Yeah, he was the one that came in here and he had the vision, and basically he made it possible for these flags to be placed the way they were before. They were hanging on a pole around here. But this looks more really honorably.
Yeah.
So I was just telling your sister that we retired the flags. So we gather them here, and then we go through a ceremony of burning them. And, that's how we basically retire flags. We just don't throw them in the trash or something like that. We basically let them, go into the fire, and the fire, rises and gives the energy. Whatever comes out of the flag goes back up again into the universe. Yeah. Yeah, I love flags. And then we have some more mannequins here. This is really interesting. If you move left or right, the eyes will follow you. Right. This is a combined partnership with the Wisteria Hearst Museum. That's a museum we have here in Holyoke. And so, again, Jesus Pereira and Penny from the Wisteria Hearst Museum got together and worked up a grant and got these uniforms, got the mannequins, got the monies and the sponsorship to have these mannequins and the uniforms put up. And then at one time, when the project was completed, they had a special showing at the Wisteria Hearst Museum, and then everybody was invited. And what they would do is talk about the uniforms, talk about what each individual part of the uniform meant, the patches, the style, the year. If you can see this particular, they have the name and the year and the type. And then when the program was finished, they basically came here to basically rest. So then now we have them in display. And today happens to be the day that Holyoke celebrates the Vietnam Veterans Day, so good timing. Then this building itself was used back in the 40s, the 50s. It's a stage. It's a stage, you know. They wanted to make sure that they did a lot with this building. It was military, plus it was social. And they had performances here. Some of the widows that would come here into our office, maybe 80, 80 around there, would come in and they say, well, I saw a play here. There used to be ballet. There used to be, it was almost like Broadway or almost. Yes, it could be rented out. You see the balcony back there? So there used to be dances here, local dances. Have you ever heard of Tito Puente?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he played here.
Really?
Yeah, he played right here. Matter of fact, I was dating my wife.
Were you?
Yeah, and I brought her here because we're salseros. And afterwards, you were able to go back in the back room and see him. So we basically came up here in the back room, Tito Puente. We saw him here. A lot of famous singers.
Wow.
And that's because the community became, Puerto Rican, ethnicity. And so they started bringing in that type of entertainment. You could do anything with this place here. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it still available for rent for people?
It is. The building, this is still available to rent for people.
Okay.
Yeah, and the people who manage this building is called the War Memorial Commissioners. Yeah, and then there is the chair of the War Memorial Commissioners is Ladi Ruiz, R-U-Z. So she's the person you will contact, and then she'll set up all arrangements for renting out the facility.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's where we have the Veterans Memorial Day here.
Okay. When is that?
I believe it's coming up soon, pretty soon. May 20th, we do a ceremony here. Every city has that celebration
Okay.
in Massachusetts, in the state, because it's a statewide celebration. And so if there are any veterans that come in here and need services, they can work with us, and also too, they can go upstairs and get additional services, because the services, or anyone, can basically, we have like one house drop for services here.
Oh, okay.
Veterans, and then we have the the regular citizens.
Citizens,
Yeah, so it's turning out to be quite interesting. Those balconies up there, I mean, that's an experience up there. I don't know if you want to go up there and take a.
Yeah, that'd be great if you. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to experience that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go through here. Let me turn everything off here. To meet him. Andre, you mind being videotaped? They're doing.
Wait, what the heck? Oh, hi. How are you? How you been? Good. Wait, hi. My name is Andre Ruiz. I am the investigator for the City of Holyoke. I work with Chapter 115. That is a program in Massachusetts that helps low-income veterans, who are, on a certain poverty level, to get a little extra income, get reimbursed for like medical reimbursements, like meds, co-pays, all of that. It's a case-by-case, base, so it's a needs-based program. So a veteran will come in, tell me where they're at in life, and we kind of, we give them what they need based off of, what it is that they, what circumstances they're under. Yeah, it's pretty much kind of it for the most part.